What is up, everybody? NoLucksGiven here, and today we are going to be playing some Dominion League. We've currently played matches against two of our opponents. Let me mute myself. And we are now about to play against another person. So we are up against Kartik here, and we're good to go. So let's load this game up and see what we got. I think I'm going to start doing this, hitting the kingdom button. It'll make it a little bit easier for viewers and stuff to see what we got going on. But let's take a look. So first we have Advance, which lets you trash an action card from your hand to gain any other action in the kingdom, in this current kingdom. And then we have Canal, or Canal, which makes cards cost one less. We also have Inventor to make cards cost one less. And we have Villa for additional buy and additional actions. So Villa is also good. You can also pick up Villa on the cheap. We have Lurker to pick up, and then trash with Advance to grab something that's more expensive. Okay, Gear is like a setup. You can use Inventor to gain Villa. So that's really interesting. But there's not really a way to draw too many cards. Visor draws 2. Yeah, I guess it's Jack of all trades potentially to try to draw some cards. All right, let's see what happens. I'm ready, and I did get the 5-2 split. I was thinking that this looks pretty good for the 5-2 split because you just grab a junk dealer off the rip, and then maybe you go for a lurker and turn that into another junk dealer. But let's look at the other options. So Harvest really isn't good early. Count is basically a gold. We're definitely going to grab a lurker. So Count is like a gold. Put a card from your hand onto your deck. I mean, yeah, I guess it also works as like a big trashing card, but I think Junk Dealer is just a better way to trash. So let's start off with a junk dealer here, and we'll see what happens with the rest of it. Here I think I just advance the lurker, and I don't think I advance it into Villa. I think I just advance it into one more junk dealer, and that's gonna make us trash a lot of stuff. But I think this could be pretty powerful too. I think we'll be able to hit the Canal pretty reasonably. Now, junk dealer is mandatory. But I think we'll quickly be able to, like, now we just throw, like, Jack of all trades in here. We'll start gaining silver. Yeah, so now I think, yeah, just do Jack of all trades. I think that's better than just buying a silver. And especially the draw until you have 5 in your hand works with the junk dealer. Could have gone for an inventor, But there's not too many ways to gain actions on this board other than Villa. So I don't really want to have too much of that going on. Um, oh, I didn't realize how Junk Dealer worked. Jack of all trades works. I'm gonna wind up drawing a card this turn too. There's a lot of text on that card. Then I do think I grab a gear still here too. Actually, you know what? I think I could just grab another silver. I think we make a run on all of the silvers here. My opponent grabbing a lot of advisors. They do have one junk dealer themselves as well. We are just going to be trashing. And with another one, yeah, we're so close to being able to grab a gold. We could throw one harvest in there. We don't want too many terminal actions, though. Yeah, once we trash our whole deck, I guess we can advance the junk dealers as well, if that's something that we want to do. I think for now I'm just going to grab one more silver. That's just going to help us get to Canal quicker. So I discard one of them. Alright, so let's discard the junk dealer. They can have an estate and a kappa. And they can buy another inventor. Okay, so Jack of all trades. Gain a silver. Look at the top card of your deck. We're going to keep this, trash this estate, and then buy a gold. So our deck is pretty strong right now, pretty money. We're going to be able to get another gold this turn. If we hit silver, we'll be able to get Canal this turn, which is great. That feels pretty early on. So let's see. I mean, I guess we just trash the advisor because the advisor is probably just going to be a copper for them regardless. Give them inventor. We might be having to advise my opponent a lot this game. They've got 3 or 4 advisors. I forget how many I have. Wow, they've got a lot. Okay. So I guess we trash a copper here still. Yeah, that's fine. And then we can still trash a copper, and then we can buy the Canal. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. We already have enough this turn. Okay, with only one action, we just give them both inventors. Oh yeah, now they can start gaining villas. Okay. All right, well that's going to be scary, but we can gain provinces. We're kind of just like a big money deck. We don't really have that much else going on in our deck. But my opponent's buying a gold. I already have Canal and I'm buying provinces. So like, I feel pretty good, you know? Let's just keep this because we won't be able to play any actions that we draw. And then how much does a villa cost? A villa essentially costs 2, so I can buy the villa and then still buy the Pravi. So that's good for me. Let's discard advisor. These advisors are like fine, but they're nothing crazy here. Yeah, I think we just want to discard gold because inventor allows them to grab villas, which is pretty good. I don't know which one of those is better. Oh yeah, and then wait, why are their cards cheaper? Oh, because inventor. So then they can start inventing even better stuff. All right, so there's some powerful things going on in this kingdom for sure. Let's grab this. It's Jack of all trades, and I already have enough for a Pravi. So I'll keep the copper. Oh, Jack of all trades draws until you have 5 cards in hand. I totally forgot about that. Okay. That's right. So I potentially even want to try to get more powerful things. I forgot Jack of all trades was going to draw till I had 5. I could certainly see now, especially with the extra buys and how powerful that turn was, wanting an inventor. Um, I also don't mind keeping the inventor pile low, because I think we might be able to surprise my opponent by running out the piles in some capacity. Don't want my opponent to have junk dealer because they still have a bunch of their opening estates. Don't want really them to have advisor either, I think. I guess that's the strength of having so many advisors. Maybe I don't want them to have villa though. I think at some point they're going to be. I think they're going to have too many actions with villa and really not enough to do with them. Yeah, we'll just keep discarding the advisors and then let them grab them. Yeah, and then another advisor here. So now I have to give them the gold, but I think it's worth not giving them junk dealer. I don't know, my opponent's definitely got some strong stuff going on here with these advisors. So a little bit scary, and they can always just inventor and run out the villas to grab more actions. They did just grab another junk dealer there, right? Oh, no, they grabbed a villa. Okay. So they bought a canal, and then they have 2 buys where everything basically costs nothing now. So they'll buy 2 gears on the cheap. Let's junk dealer. Let's see. If I trash the villa, then I can just buy a province. So that looks pretty reasonable to me, to be honest. Yeah, let's just do that. I think it's just going to be really hard for my opponent to catch us this game with everything that we're doing. So, yeah, let's trash advisor, I believe, or not trash, but discard advisor. This is a gear turn, so this is going to be really tough to surmount here regardless. But let's just do this. Okay, and then inventor. But they cannot invent for advisor. Well, not that they ever really could, right? Yeah, inventing for villa only works because it goes to your hand. So my opponent buys a Pravi and a gear. But as long as I get one of these Pravis, like, I'm feeling pretty good, right? So let's now inventor for villa, and then jack with an action floating. We'll keep a junk dealer because we have a copper. Let's not trash the junk dealer, but instead trash one of these coppers. And then with 2 buys, we are a little bit short, definitely a lot short, to grab 2 Pravis. I think what I'm just going to do here is inventor province. But I am somewhat considering province harvest. Basically winds up acting like a gold. It's a gold that costs an action. But I think that that's good enough right now at this stage in the game, because we're so close to finishing it off here. 3 provinces in this hand is actually quite good. Let's see. I don't want my opponent to have... I feel like I don't want them to have inventors at this point, but you can't give them advisor, because then they just dig even deeper. So, yeah, I guess advisor's a lot better than I thought it was. They're going to get 2 advisors here. Let's just give them 1. Looks like my opponent is probably drawing through their whole deck at this point. They have so many gears. What did they trash? They trashed 2 coppers with their junk dealers. Yeah, so many gears, but I mean, look at the province stack. This is going to be tough for them. They are going to have multiple buys here at a certain point. But like this turn, I'm just going to buy a duchy, and I think it's just going to be too hard for my opponent to catch up. I think that's going to be the case. Yeah, they can change which cards they set aside with gear. That is totally fine. Oh, set aside. Wait. Plays gear, draws 2 cards. Oh, up to 2 cards. Oh, so you just straight up don't even have to do that. Oh, gear's a lot better than I thought it was. Okay. I mean, this can definitely be scary with how many buys my opponent gets up to, though, you know? Like, if they're able to slam... I know they have a gold, so they're at least 9. And then if they're able to play... Let's say they have 3 gold, so they have 15... 5 buys, they could get, well, all 3 provinces isn't enough, which is why I feel pretty comfortable, right? Oh no, all 3 provinces is exactly enough. Well, okay, luckily for me, they do not have 3 golds in their hand. Oh, Inventor making cards cost 1 less. That might be basically as good as a gold. You grab another villa here or something. I don't know. My opponent might have it. So now all of these provinces are going to cost 4, right? Oh, if you can play an additional inventor, then the provinces are even cheaper. Well, this does not make me feel really good about next turn. So they're going to gain a duchy, and then they're going to play inventor, gaining a province. Then they're going to play a gold, and they'll be able to buy the last 2 provinces and like 3 duchies. Wow. Wow. Okay, so my opponent did it, because their last card in hand, I'm almost positive, is a gold. From an earlier advisor. Oh no, that's not true. That's not true. They never advised into a gold. So that makes this a little bit tougher for them. But they can still buy... Can't they still buy 2 provinces and then a bunch of duchies? So I think they have it. I think we've lost. Which is definitely well played by my opponent. Yeah, so they can buy province, and then 3 duchies. Which has got to be enough, right? To win it. They can't end the game this turn. Okay, they buy a villa. They can buy all the villas. Oh, the villas are free. Oh, wow. Wow, well played. Oh, for some reason my opponent decided not to end it, but I can't buy the duchy. They had 10. Yeah, they could have just bought all the provies there. That's fine. We'll just buy an estate. Hope that they like really missed. Yeah, the problem is if we buy a duchy, now we lose. I feel like we can give my opponent inventor now. No, because now inventor just allows them to grab the duchy, so we have to discard inventor. I feel like there's no real way out of this. Yeah, the inventor grab the duchy, and that one is GG. Alrighty. Wow. Okay, so well played on my opponent finding that line there. Yeah, that was really good. That was definitely strong. But let's not get shaken, and let's figure it out. We're on the play here for this one. We lost as a 5-2 split. My opponent just went way bigger than us. I'm not really familiar enough with Advisor to realize that all of that was possible. So Way of the Pig means we can just turn actions into cycling. We've got Moat to protect against all of the attacks here. Giant is an attack as well. We've got Goat Herd to start trashing. We've got Monument as a way to gain some victory points. We've got Tracker as a fun card. I've got another 5-2 split. So I guess I will be buying a Giant. Yes, seems like you got to make use of it. If it was 5-2 the other way, I would consider getting the Destrier. But as this is how the things fell, this is what we'll do. Move your +1 token to an action supply pile. So my opponent goes for a Giant as well when you play a card from that pile. So training with Destrier seems like it is going to be pretty great. So now we have access to 3, so I will probably buy a Goat Herd here. And then, yeah, use that to try to start trashing some things. Now we could say Doctor. But I think I like Goat Herd better. Yeah, I think that's good. Alright, Tracker with a boon. Depending on what boon we get, we might be able to start Destriering +1 card. I don't think I want a Destrier just yet, though, right? I guess this is a little bit awkward. Yeah, the Giant can also hit the Destrier, which is pretty nasty. But with only one buy here, we really have to... I think we really want training with one buy. The awkward thing is that we're not necessarily going to be getting a Destrier anytime soon. I almost want to like training Monument or something. That makes Monument really powerful. Let's turn Monument into gold. And I don't want to have to retraining later. Maybe it is just Destrier for now. Make the deck a little bit more powerful. If we get a few Destriers, then we will be able to get more. I mean, when we play the Giant, we will be able to buy basically whatever we want. So knowing the Giant will facilitate any buy, maybe we do just training Destrier now. There's no ways to get additional actions other than Diplomat, which I don't think is really possible. We can Goat Herd into Diplomat to get the actions. I guess that is reasonable. Goat Herd into Diplomat later in the game. That's kind of against the Destrier plan, though. Because like Destrier training is definitely the most powerful thing on this board, other than maybe Golem. Let's go for Destrier. Oh, I get to top deck that? All right, easy choice, easy choice. Didn't think about that with the Tracker in hand. So this should be good. I think now I can Destrier Giant and then buy probably just another Destrier. All right, my opponent going for the Sea Hag. But I think we can go bigger than that. Let's Destrier first, and then we can actually Way of the Pig our Tracker so that we get this Destrier on top of our deck too. And the +1 buy, I think, is going to be really good on our Destrier turn. So now we can buy Goat Herd plus Destrier, and I think that's the best thing to do. So yeah, Goat Herd, and I think I'm fine top decking this because you can always Way of the Picket, and then Destrier, definitely top decking Destrier. So yeah, we'll lead with Destrier here, and then we'll potentially top deck this. So there's a curse on top of my deck, so I can just draw it and then send it away. That is totally fine with me. My opponent did not trash anything on their turn, but let's draw the curse, and then let's get to munching. So eat this, and then I can either grab another tracker or a moat. I really don't mind gaining a moat. Again, everything just turns into Way of the Pig, and having a moat in the deck could be good for like giant and stuff. What did I giant for my opponent? I gianted a... Oh, I gave them a curse. Okay. Yeah, let's just buy a moat, because a moat can be a pig, so that's totally fine. If we hit copper here, then I can just buy a copper and then buy a Destrier. So all of that seems fine. My opponent now gives me a curse. My opponent has 2 buys with 9 gold, so definitely a big turn for them. They could buy like Monument Destrier or something like that. Oh, they go for Potion Destrier. That's pretty smart. Yeah. Golem seems really strong here. I might actually buy a potion this turn myself, come to think of it. So let's start by Way of the Pigging this. Then let's Destrier. Let's Way of the Pig this. And then if we just flip this over and get 1, we'll have access to 5 with 2 buys. Flipping our giant token over. So yeah, this is a turn where I could see going like copper plus Destrier, just trying to get all the Destriers so that the training is really strong. I think I do like that. Let's not top deck that, but let's top deck this. When you can top deck with the Destrier, that just seems so good too. We're protected against Swamp or Sea Hag this turn. My opponent hasn't played that in a minute, so I could definitely see them Sea Hagging us. Yeah, moat's pretty good considering Way of the Pig, so you can just throw moats in your deck and then Way of the Pig them later. My opponent is going to go for a Diplomat. That seems pretty good about now, too. We've got Giant. That's interesting, so I might just want to take the +5. That would give me 8. If I could find a tracker. The question is, like, do I want to eat these copper? And I'm not sure that I do, because this could be a big turn for me otherwise. So I think I'm inclined to like grab Potion Destrier this turn or something. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. So that's enough to do it already. But my opponent didn't trash anything on their turn. So let's go ahead and just Way of the Pig this. We drew the curse, but that's fine. At least now we don't have to draw it next turn. And we're going to Giant them. So they get to Diplomat, so they draw 2 cards and then discard 3. So you get a little bit of hand selection there. And we are just going to play the Giant. And then we've got 9. So I think we go Potion Destrier as well, like my opponent before us. Yeah, that seems good. Potion Destrier. Now I have 4 of the 5 Destriers, and I think I will be looking into getting a training soon. Oh, if you're attacked, that also turns the Diplomat on. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for my opponent here. Definitely Golem would be insane on this board, so I'm glad we bought the potion. And we now have a curse on top of our deck. Yeah, Moat seems pretty good too. Let's go ahead and Dester, and I think I'm just going to play Tracker. That's going to give me access to 3. So I suppose at that point I'll just buy another Goat Herd. But that seems good, and that's exactly what I was thinking. We might be able to trash this curse. So that seems great to me. I could just do another Moat. But I think Goat Herd's good. Again, we can Way of the Pigget. Yeah, there's no sense in not putting it on top. And yeah, feeling pretty decent. My opponent just doing a little Moat turn, and they've got 4 with 2 buys, so they're going to grab another Diplomat. Yeah, Giant definitely gets a little awkward. Maybe we'll want to stop using Giant just to not turn on their Diplomats for free. But let's go Destrier. Let's definitely eat this estate. I feel like I do just want to eat through some coppers here. Let's Way of the Pig this Moat and see if we can draw anything else first. We do not. But yeah, let's just Goat Herd. Let's trash another copper, make our deck a little bit smaller, and then buy a Moat. This turn we should be able to get the training. Well, we're only going to play the Giant, turning it face down. But yeah, Goat Herd into Diplomat is obviously really good. We said that earlier. My opponent Giants us and has a whole bunch of money, so they are going to buy the first Golem and top deck it with Tracker. Okay, that is pretty good. That is pretty good. I think we'll be able to do the same thing this turn, but we might be able to get Golem Destrier here. So that is feeling pretty great. Do we want to receive a boon? Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean, basically we're just buying Golem this turn, which is fine. Would we rather receive a boon, or would we rather flip our Giant token over? Let's receive a boon. My opponent does have a Diplomat yet again, so definitely they're doing good work with the Diplomats, but we will be able to top deck a Golem, just like they did. Diplomat and Moat they react with. Okay, let us play the Giant. That gives us 1, and then auto-play our treasures. That gives us 5. I guess I wasn't counting Pouch. And let's top deck a Golem. So we're pretty close to doing exactly what my opponent is doing here too. I'm not feeling too bad about what's going on. They are going to... Oh, that's what Golem does? Oh, you play your next 2 actions. Okay. That is really crazy good. But we're going to be able to do the same thing. So, no matter. And Golem is actually a way to generate actions on this board for the first time. So, that is pretty sweet, too. Did my opponent trash anything? They did. Okay, great. So, let's start by Goat Herding, trashing this. Then let's Destrier. Then let's Destrier, just in case we miss off of this, you know? Then let's Goat Herd, trash another curse. And I think I'm ready to Golem here. So which order do we want to play these in? Let's play the Destrier first, in case the Destrier hits a curse. And then let's Goat Herd, trashing Estate. So we just shuffled our deck, right? No, we didn't. Trying to figure out if my potion is in my discard pile or in my deck. Did I shuffle my deck last turn? I did. Okay. So my potion is in my discard pile right here. So we're very close to drawing it. We also need to find our plus buys thing, the pouch. Yeah, I think the pouch might even be more important. Because I think we'd like to pick up training ASAP. Though, if we track her into the potion, I think we will buy a golem here. All right, so we'll buy a golem, and then we'll have 6 more. So we'll maybe buy like golem destrier. Let's see what we hit. All right, we give them a curse. I don't know why I said let's see what we hit. Wait, we already have potion and pouch. I don't know what I meant by that. Okay, so 2 buys. Yeah, I can buy golem destrier. I can also buy golem training and finally train my destrier. The thing is, I'm going to be able to put these on top. So that does make me feel like I want to put golem on top of my deck for sure. So let's lock that in. And then it honestly feels like I want to put destrier on top of my deck, right? That seems way too good to pass up. So let's just put a destrier on top of my deck for now. And we'll think about how we potentially want to retool that in a little bit. My opponent just grabbing a golem, so I feel like we are significantly beating them here this game. Let's run out some destriers before we play the golems. Might even just want to goat herd away this copper. Yeah, let's just play these destriers first. Alright, do I want to play goat herd first too? Yeah, let's get a copper out of the deck. And then let's play golem now. Perfect. Let's draw destrier first. We're going to play destrier, and then we're going to play goat herd, trashing a curse. So that is beautiful. We've almost drawn the full deck. So this is great. We're engineing here for sure. So let's lead with moat. We are engineering, right? Yeah, shuffled my deck, so everything... Well, no, that's confusing because I have another golem. I have a giant. I only have 1 card in the deck, so there's some things that I'm missing. Let's just tracker. Yeah, I don't know where my potion is right now. But I do feel like I should find my potion. So this is... Because I'd love to buy... If you can buy a golem, that puts you in such a good spot on the next turn. Right now, I can buy a training, which, I think should be good enough, too. Can I play goat herd and still buy a training? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, if I play giant... Yeah, I need the training. All right, let's moat, because I'm pretty sure we're going to giant. Well, now I can just... If I goat herd and then I giant, I'll have enough to just put a golem on top of the deck. Is that good enough? I feel like at some point it's diminishing returns. At some point my deck is just going to be too good anyways. This is like the off turn, though. You have the off turn and then you have the big turn. So I feel like on my off turn, I should potentially just be getting this training. There's golem. Okay. I guess I should have just not used it. Might as well draw the whole deck, right? And then if we golem here, or giant here rather, my opponent always with the diplomat in the hand, which is definitely a little bit annoying. Almost makes me want to get into the diplomat game. Let's see, how punished am I for the fact that we're going to be playing this and then auto-playing our treasures, and this is 7. So I'm not super punished, right, for trashing that copper. I think Golem with a tracker is just too good. How many Destroyers do I have? I have 5. So training is basically like 5 extra gold. Let's do it. Let's training Destroyer. And then in my buys. It's basically like 5 extra gold, and then I'm going to get 4 extra gold from the giant, so 9 extra gold will give me 16, which is enough to buy 2 provinces, which is, I think, like as good as you can get on this kingdom. So if we can get to the point where we're buying 2 provinces a turn, and then like on the off turns I'll buy like province. Yeah, we're definitely moding. I'm going to always reveal in this kingdom. But if you can get to the point where you're buying like province Destroyer, that's really good too. And I think it should be tough for my opponent to keep up here. They're definitely going to have a good turn this turn though. But they can't buy province Destroyer. They could buy training Destroyer. But that's not nearly as good for them as it is for me. And I don't think I should really have a problem hitting my Golem either. So they're going to go gold, top decked with tracker, plus Destroyer, top decked with tracker. So pretty good stuff, down to 3 Destroyers. These are now netting me coin, which you gotta love. Let's go ahead and see if they trashed anything. They did trash a curse, so we can play Goat Herd for free. Which basically just means we Way of the Pig it, I guess. Alright, let's start by way of the picking tracker. There we go, we found a Golem. Yeah, let's play Golem. We should definitely hit here. Let's Destroyer first. Always playing Destroyer. We can just play Goat Herd. I don't actually think we trash, because I think we have exactly the required coin to buy 2 provinces this turn. So let's not trash. Let's play another Golem, sure. Right, play the giant. Okay, we trashed their Sea Hag, which I think they are probably fine with. Let's play these Destroyers first. Okay, yeah, we've got a bunch of extra draw, but yeah, this is what I said it was going to be. This is 16 with 2 buys, but I need every card here. Yeah, so let's end. Let's autoplay. And not top decking. Not top decking, but this is the best you can do in this kingdom, is 2 provies. I drew them anyways, which is a little bit annoying, but hopefully the Destroyer plus Way of the Pig can get me out of this. So this turn I have 4 less gold, so I have 12. So this turn I probably buy like Golem province or something. I guess we Way of the Pig. Or we just flip it face down. We've got 5. Is that 5 with 2 buys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'll just buy Copper Destroyer. Okay, that's fine. Copper Destroyer is totally fine, I believe. If we hit the Golem, we were drawing way more cards than our entire deck. And so now this turn, with 2 additional coin in the deck, we'll have access to 18, so we can even trash with the Goat Herds, should they come up. Yeah, it's just with no additional buys in the kingdom other than with Tracker. Tracker is the one way that you circumvent the buy limit. I guess the other thing would be Monument, and if you get into, like, one of the best things that you can do is Golem the Monument. Just start goleming monuments every turn. That seems pretty good. Yeah, I'm definitely going to buy a golem with the tracker in hand. That makes sense. Or tracker in play to top deck. Let's play our Destriers first. Let's see if my opponent trashed anything. They did not. So let's just play our Destriers here. Let's play a golem. We're gonna play the goat herd. Let's just pig it for now. And then let's golem again. And all we had was the Destrier. But we're going to play that. So we actually didn't draw everything in our deck. Oh, but we can. We can. Yeah. Duh. Okay. Yeah, if we just play both of our moats, we draw our remaining deck, and then we can play... Let's play our tracker now, just to see what's up. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking of. What we would do into the Sky's Gift. Well, that's dumb, because I should have played the moat first, so I don't have to draw a province next turn. We are going to have to do some math here, though, so let's think about this. We have 7 coin. This is 7 coin, so that's 14. This is 5, so that's 19. And I guess we don't need the potion if we're just going to be grabbing 2 Pravis. So if we discard this, it's 5, that's 4, that's 12, that's 2 Pravis still. Okay, yeah, this is good. And we can still do everything we need to do. Yeah, we confirm discarding these. We don't top deck the gold, actually. We just continue, and then we draw the province so that we don't have to draw it next turn. We gain 5 from the giant, and then we buy 2 provinces here. 6 plus 7 plus 5 is 16, right? Oh, it's even more. It's 18. Oh well. Let's buy 2 provinces. This has got to be good enough for this kingdom. So this is our off turn again. So on our off turns, we have access to... We had 20... We had 19 gold last turn, right? Because didn't we discard a copper? What did we discard? The Sky's Gift. Yeah, we discarded a copper, so we had 19 gold. The gold that we just gained gives us 22 gold, but the giant is -4. So we have access to 18 gold again. Let's see if my opponent is trashing at all. They did trash a curse, so we can use our goat herd. Okay. Did they only trash 1 card? That's important to know. Yeah, I think they only trashed 1 card. And they bought a Destrier. Okay, so let's start off by Destriering. And Destriering. And Destriering. And we've got a pretty big hand to go with already. So we can goat herd a copper here. I mean, we know we're going to pig this moat. So let's go ahead and do that. And are we just a little bit short right now to buy another province? I mean, I will buy a province if we can. So I think I should just pig this. Yeah, let's just pig. Let's pig again. Let's pig again. Destrier. All right, so now we have enough to buy a province, and we also hit the golem. Let's start playing our golems before we run out of actions. Yep, that's what we want to do. And we already have an action floating, but if we pig this... Yeah, I don't care about playing the giant. let's play the tracker. What just happened? Oh, I played both of them. Oh, that was how I'm playing the Destrier. Oh, okay. So how do we want to play the tracker? Let's play the tracker. That gives me the Forest Gift, which is an additional buy. So that's pretty good. Let's pig the moat. And then I'm not sure that we have any more actions in our deck. So I think we just pig the golem and then flip the giant. And this should be more than enough here. Wasn't trying to slow roll my opponent. I just wasn't paying attention to what was going on. So there we go. And it wasn't that much of a slow roll. We basically had Xaxes there. But that was a crazy kingdom. We bought almost every province, and my strategy prevailed there. So yeah, that was a pretty nutty one. But we are able to get our first win against Kartik. So feeling good about that. Another diplomat game. So we want to make sure that we are using that as our opponent will be. Pretty expensive kingdom. No 3s or 4s or really even 2s. So there's... I'm sorry, I don't know why I said there's no 4s. But there's no 2s or 3s. And my opponent has a 2-5 split. Alright, that is going to be really nasty. So we need to just make sure we're looking everything over. Let's read Conquest first. So for 6 mana, you can gain 2 silvers and then gain 2 victory points, most likely is what that's going to be. Royal Blacksmith is +5, then discard your coppers, so not good early. Each player, including you, reveals the top card of their deck, either discards it or puts it back, my choice. Then reveal cards from your deck until revealing one that isn't in action. Okay, so this is pretty good if you go heavy treasure. You would just be able to draw all of your treasure. Does bank give an additional buy? It does not. Is there any way to get an additional buy? I think my opponent's just going to start covening me on turn 1. With no buys, I'm a little iffy on the scrying pool. What is the... Alright, so this is going to be the last game that my opponent and I are going to play in this session. I now see your chat over there, Kalari. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm really not sure what we can do in this kingdom. So what are the ways to gain actions even? Border Village. Okay, so we have access to actions. Put the victory cards and the curses into your hand. Okay, Patrol is interesting, but we can't buy Patrol yet. I actually think Patrol is pretty good. There's no way to grab curses either. I'm like tempted to just rush Coven. And if that's the case, I think I'm just going to go for Navigator? Oh, though my opponent's going to buy the Coven, so I'll have access to Diplomat. Okay, let's go Diplomat, because they're definitely buying a Coven here, right? That just seems so dirty early on here. Yeah, okay. So this is fine. They aren't going to Coven me. Actually, they could Coven me this turn, but they do not have it. And now we get to buy a Coven ourselves. Wow, they have 2 Covens now. I have access to 6, so I actually get to go Border Village Coven. Okay, we're in it. We're definitely in the game here. We aren't going to have the Diplomat for their first Coven, but we are going to be able to grab a silver. And I'm not feeling too bad if they have Coven now. We've got Diplomat. All right, never lucky. Never lucky. Let's Diplomat, and we've got 5, so let's join them with a second Coven. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good here now. I might even, yeah, they're going to grab a third Coven. I think I'm going to grab a third Coven as well, along with a Border Village. I do think the patrols are also really good, but it's just going to be huge to get these Covens. With no trashing in this kingdom, that's going to be pretty nasty. Yes, my opponent has given me 4. I've only given them 1 curse. So really don't love that, but let's pick up another Coven. Hopefully, yeah, we're also never diplomating on the right turns. And this is going to be awkward because we are going to draw into some good stuff here. So this is really unlucky, but oh well. We'll be able to at least double Coven them this turn. The current Coven stats are 5-1, so you hate to see that. But let's make it 5-3, and now I can buy Border Village, and I don't know if I buy another Coven. I don't think it's going to matter, so I think I'm going to start buying patrols, and hope that I can draw through some of these curses that my opponent is plaguing me with. Please don't have another one. Okay. That means that I'm going to get dumped on first, but it will mean that I get to at least give them 1 more curse. So wasn't that bad all in all. The curse split winds up being 4-6, and I think that this is manageable. So now they're going to Coven me, and I will be able to Diplomat. So now we can discard 3, and I get to double Diplomat here. Why? Oh, okay. I guess I'm not able to double Diplomat. But they gave me my curses. I'm going to give them their curses now as well. So let's Diplomat. Then let's Coven. And then I will Diplomat again. Oh, they're diplomating. But we did give them all of their curses. Wait, why does that not exile their curses? Why did that not? Oh, because I have to finish playing it. Okay, that was because of Way of the Horse. I didn't realize I wasn't finished playing the action. All right. So now I could start just throwing these Covens back with Way of the Horse. We have access to 8 here. Like Borderville, I feel like this could also just be a quick game, and maybe I just want to buy a province while I have access to it. It's going to let them Diplomat again. But that's fine. I think just buying a Pravi while we can on such a tight board is going to be good. So my opponent actually did get a scrying pool. I wasn't paying attention, but they were able to grab that. And now they've got some patrol action going on, and they are going to be one short of a province because of that potion. So, scrying pool not being super helpful here. Let's go border village into border village. Draw absolutely nada, and probably we have to pick up a silver here with just nothing else going on. We could actually grab a royal blacksmith at this point. We have a lot of ways to grab additional actions. Maybe that's not the worst. A lot of our cash is in copper. So royal blacksmith is awkward in that regard. But if we can just play a border village before we play the royal blacksmith, then it seems pretty good. All right, let's go for it. Just going to be looking to pay off our Coven here. Yeah, my opponent with a lot more patrols than I do as well. Patrol is really good. And they just bought another one. So they've got a lot of patrols. So they probably are going to have access to better buys than us throughout the course of the game. Let's start with a patrol. We drew a bunch of cards. Let's border village. Let's patrol again. Sure thing. The order doesn't matter. We're just going to draw all of these in our opening hand next turn. I guess we could have horsed into them or something, but this is fine. We're going to Coven. We'll repay our debt, and then I think we'll have access to 3, at which point we will just buy a silver. All right. We could buy another royal blacksmith, but I think one royal blacksmith is enough here. If we bought a silver last turn, we would have just been able to buy a province that turn. But we will be able to buy a province this turn here with Coven, copper, silver. That is 8. So I will just be buying a province. I think that, unless I'm missing it, there's still no room for additional buys on the board. Yeah, we are going to be... it's either province or bust. I think my opponent, they're just going to buy a province here. So that makes me feel pretty good about just having an off turn like this. And honestly, it's still an on turn because I didn't draw any curses. And that is the power of patrol. So my opponent probably going to be having a little bit more powerful turns than I with patrol. But we'll see what we can make work here. This winds up being fine. Not super stellar of a turn here. Guess we just Coven. The royal blacksmith does not look good in this hand at all. I think I'm just going to buy a patrol. Yeah, let's just buy a patrol. Because if we royal blacksmith with 0 actions floating, all we're doing is saying pass. So let's Coven, buy a patrol. Patrol winds up being a little bit better than blacksmith at some points in this board. If I had 6, obviously you go border village patrol, and that is great. Because we do want to think about even border village Coven we could consider, because we're a little bit up on our opponent here, that we might want to just try to end the game. And I think I'm going to try to end the game with border village plus patrol. And I think we actually have it here. These scrying pools are doing a decent amount of work for my opponent. What will they do with a silver? Yeah, they're going to discard my silver. Oh, I read scrying pool wrong. You reveal cards until you reveal one that isn't in action. So you draw all of your actions. Oh. Oh, that is a world of difference. Okay. So this is 6 here, so we're going to go Border Village Patrol. Did my opponent Way of the Horse a patrol? I don't think that they did. But we do have to be mindful of the fact that, like, if we try to end the game, my opponent could just say no by way of the horsing back some Covens. Might even be something we want to consider. But I think here I'm just going to consider this an off turn and buy an estate. That seems good at this point in the game. This is also going to be an off turn, it looks like. Oh yeah, they are Way of the Horsing their patrol just so that they don't have any dead turns. Okay, you gotta respect it. They buy another scrying pool. That seems really powerful. I'm just going to be willing to have another off turn with how many bad cards I have in my hand currently. So let's do this, and I think I want to buy an additional silver. We do have patrol to draw through the estates, which I like, but with the blacksmith, we really want access to some silvers. So I think I am going to do that. Yeah, double patrol. I guess I am tempted to horse one, aren't I? I might horse a Coven. Yeah, they're going to discard my border village. So I am drawing blind. And I've got an estate on top of my deck now. They buy a province, so they're decently ahead of me. So I think we are going to have to start Way of the Horsing. So let's Way of the Horse, try to find a border village. Try to find one more. I want to keep my diplomats. I think my diplomats are pretty good. So I guess let's just play patrol. I'm really afraid because my opponent... I mean, you do have to start converting your cards into horses in the late game. Maybe I should just be doing that, trying to find one border village. Yeah, one border village is so good. Now we can Royal Blacksmith into multiple more border villages, but we actually miss. We only discarded 2 coppers, but we have so much junk in the deck at this point. If we had patrolled instead, that would have been great. All right, let's Way of the Horse. Yeah, we needed to find more border villages here. So let's play the border villages. Let's play the patrol for real. We're going to draw all of these cards, right? Yeah, so let's patrol to draw them. And then... yeah, this is the right order for these as well. Border village. Then we diplomat. Then we border village. Yeah, I mean, we're way over it now too, I guess, but we can at least buy a province this turn, so that's all we really cared about, I suppose. And now with a 7 hand, that is obviously really awkward. At this point, I guess we're just going to be buying a duchy. I feel like I might have been sleeping on Conquest just a little bit here. My opponent putting back everything with Way of the Horse as we are in our final stretch, but they still don't have enough. So I have to decide... yeah, I think I Conquest. Because that means if my opponent buys a province and I buy a province, I win, and it makes my deck a lot better. 5 differently named cards you have. So I've got Royal Blacksmith, Diplomat, Coven. I'll have Fairgrounds, Border Village, Patrol, Copper, Silver, Estate, Province. So Fairgrounds is worth 4. Fairgrounds is worth 4, but all we need is Conquest, and then we can, like, stay ahead of our opponent. If my opponent buys another victory point, then we'll have to buy more victory points as well. But I think just making our deck slightly better while also staying ahead on victory points means that... Alright, they're gonna keep their bank. I'm gonna keep this estate. But we've actually got a really good hand here. We've got Border Village into Patrol. So my opponent also buys a Conquest. Yeah, so now we might just be conquesting back and forth and staying ahead on victory points. So this is a really interesting moment in the game. So yeah, I mean, I drew pretty well off of that one as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we already have enough. So let's... I think we're done ordering this. We just draw the silver. We keep the Border Village on top. That gives us 6, which is enough to conquest. So yeah, let's keep the silver on top. Let's Border Village into Coven, and then let's conquest. So it's just an arms race here. If either one of us stumbles, then the other person can... And I think that's a stumble. I think that's a definite stumble for my opponent. Question is, do I want to send back the Border Village to really punish them? And I think I do here. I think we send back Border Village, as crazy as that sounds. It only cost us 1. And now I've got access to 7. Shoot. Alright, well that's a little bit unlucky. I mean, our deck has definitely been getting worse and worse. The problem is now, like, I can conquest, and then my opponent just has to buy a Fairgrounds, and then they're actually ahead of us. So I think I'm actually going to go Border Village Patrol, even though I gave up a Border Village to make this turn happen. Let's put the Border Village back into my deck. So I've got a Border Village. They're definitely going to be discarding that. And then they got some patrol action going on. And this is a big turn for my opponent, to be sure. I currently only have access to 7 mana. This is a big game here, just in terms of everything going on. But we could tie it up right now if we win this one. So this is super important, and we definitely want to get this win. So my opponent buys the province, so all I have to do is buy a province, and we win. So everything is a horse this turn. My opponent can diplomat, but yeah, we're way of the horsing everything. This is the one I wasn't sure about, Royal Blacksmith. I think I'm just going to Way of the Horse Royal Blacksmith, because it would make me lose 3 gold, and that gold's so important. Like, I have 5 gold right now. I could Way of the Horse Coven first, but I don't want to discard any of my copper. So, you're a horse. You're a horse. And I've got 6. Alright, that is quite unlucky. We've really hurt our deck at this point. We've also, by trashing Royal Blacksmith, I think Fairgrounds is only going to give us 2 now. No, it still gives us 4. Okay, so bless. Blessed be. We stay 1 victory point behind them now. So even if they buy a Fairgrounds, that should put them up to 29, and a province will win it for us. Okay, province is still a win. Let's Way of the Horse. Wow. Well, now I have to worry about if I even have enough patrols in my deck. I think I just have to hope that I still have 1 more patrol. Okay. I know I still have a Border Village. So, let's Way of the Horse this. Ah, and it's 6. It's 6 again. Wow. All right, well, let's just buy a fairgrounds, I believe. Whew. I think my deck is getting really weak at this point, is part of the problem. I think I definitely still have one more border village. I do not have another diplomat, so sending this back will lose me a lot of victory points, so we have to just play it. And now I've got access to 4. I think at this point I buy a diplomat, but I'm considering navigator just as additional padding on the amount of victory points that I have. It's a tie game with myself and my opponent. Their deck is a lot better, though, I think. Let's grab navigator, I think. Yeah, I mean, they don't have Covens in their deck now either. Just by a navigator, it's one more point of insurance that allows me to get rid of a card. They border village using Way of the Horse and pass their turn. I think I'm going to start making a run on the fairgrounds here now then. I don't want to get rid of my Coven, and victory points that are worth 4 victory points sounds good. I know that this means that if my opponent buys the fairgrounds, they win. But I'm basically just banking on the fact that my opponent's deck is weaker than they believe it is. And I think it is. I think my opponent doesn't realize just how weak their deck is right now. So knowing that there's a province on my deck, I think I'm just going to border village into the province and then play this silver. I gave back my blacksmith. I think I just buy an estate here, though. Okay, this is it. This is the big turn. This is border village into patrol. This is what we've been needing. I'm not sure if my deck has too much of anything else at this point. My opponent gets a big turn next turn. Okay, they decided not to even buy a silver. They want nothing to do with it. So let's border village into patrol. Did we get there? We did indeed get there. So now we can border village, and now we can buy the last province. Yatta! That was a close one, but I think we played that one super, super well. So myself and my opponent are 2-2. I had 11 differently named cards. How many differently named cards do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What's up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we are going to be finishing our set against Kartik for Dominion Online League. I'll probably make this all one video. Not super sure on that, though. But we are currently 2-1 against Kartik, and today we are going to be able to finish that set up. So we got 3 games to play, and in 2 of those games, we're also going to be playing first. So that is an additional advantage here that we have. And so because of that, I'm feeling pretty good, feeling pretty confident. Definitely want to make sure I'm in the right Dominion space and ready to go. Kartik was just finishing up a game of Teamfight Tactics, and I saw that they were online, so I said, do you want to battle? And because I had some free time here at the end of EV Community Day, so we are ready to go, and I think that's right. All right, stream is all set up, and we are good. So let's see how this goes. It looks like I just froze on my screen. All right, I'm going to restart Sparko Cam here then. I don't know why Sparko Cam decided to crash on us here, but Hopefully this fixes it. Oh no. That should fix it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Alrighty. So we are ready to go, and we will be on the play in the first and third games. Like I was just saying, gotta get comfortable now again after that little camera mishap. Okay, so Mission we are familiar with. Golem we're familiar with from yesterday too. And this is a Platinum game, so this game is going to be getting big. Gain a card costing exactly one more than it. So we can turn Pravis into Platinums. Feodum is probably not big enough for this kingdom, but we are, I think, definitely going to want a mine in a Platinum kingdom. So I think we'll make that our priority, getting a mine as soon as possible. And then maybe we will look at something like golems or things. We can also grab a golem or two and then turn the potion into a gold and into a platinum. So a lot of opportunities for interesting routes in this kingdom. And Summon lets you gain an action card costing up to 4 and then play it at the start of your next turn. Let's just look at Dungeon again. Now at the start of your next turn, +2, then discard 2. This doesn't actually generate cards, but it does generate some nice card quality to start the game off. I don't see any trashing other than cards that like trash themselves, like Farmer's Market and Acting Troop, and then Mine, of course. A Workers' Village also trashing itself. I'm very inclined to say here that we just grab the silver, but I think one dungeon could really help with the smoothing out of draws in the early game. +2, discard 2. No, even so, you can't really get to 5 with dungeon, so let's just grab a silver. I will consider the golem, but I don't think it's where we want to go. Let's see what my opponent does and how they feel about our play here. They are going to go for the dungeon and the smoothing out of draws a little bit. Now we have to decide if we want a potion, but Golem isn't good in the early game. So, oh wait, what does Mint do? Oh, reveal a treasure from your hand, gain a copy of it. Okay, I could definitely see wanting a Mint later on, and especially like Golem into Mine Mint could be really cool. I think grabbing a Workers' Village here is fine, but I think I just want to rush Mine. That's honestly my first impression, is to just get a Mine as soon as possible. So let's go ahead and do that. This is 6, so this is going to be a Mine. We could also use this hand and grab a gold. And I don't hate that either. Yeah, see, my opponent grabs the potion, but they don't really have actions to use the golem on. They probably won't be able to buy the golem for a little bit, because potion kind of hurts you in the early game. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab a gold. I think it's just going to be important to grab a gold when you can. And I could see grabbing a potion now, despite myself not having any actions. But that will let me hit the mine more often than not. I'll probably be able to buy a mine next turn. Yeah, this is why I didn't want dungeon. Best case scenario with dungeon, you draw 2, you discard 2, you have all 4 coppers, but you can only buy a 4. So my opponent is then forced to buy a silver this turn. And I think I just want one more silver in the deck. These silvers are going to be so good once I get the mine online here. And I do think that now that I have the mine, yeah, again, dungeon into 4, grab another silver. It's not really doing that much for my opponent, and dungeon falls off, I think, later into the game as well. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But with only 1 buy. Okay, my opponent does have a golem, so that's sweet. But they've got a golem, and all it's going to be able to hit is a dungeon. So I don't even think that that's that powerful. I'm tempted to, like, play 5 and then grab a mint and trash everything that I've made so far. not playing the gold. Bridge Troll does give us a buy. So I do think we want access to Bridge Troll at some point. We also want Workers' Village at some point. But I think we'll be able to get those things. And I think trashing all of these treasures from our deck is going to be pretty good eventually. So here I can think about grabbing Golem, but I think I just want to go the Workers' Village route for now. The potion, I don't know. Maybe we should do the potion. It's going to take a little bit to set up. The thing is, I do think I'm going to want access to these buys. But I think the golems will be good too. It's not like a super powerful kingdom, you know? But it's probably still worth grabbing a potion here at some point. Interesting. So we've got some decisions to make on this turn for sure. Because we can turn the gold into a platinum. That's probably the best thing to do. Turn the gold into a platinum. And then we have access to 8, which still only with 1 buy. I definitely want to grab some workers' villages as soon as we can. As soon as we can figure out how to do that. Guess I could also be upgrading my estates. Thank you very much, Kalari. Yeah, part of me really wants to just grab like an upgrade or something at some point too. There's so much stuff that you want access to in this kingdom. So it's really hurting to not have the extra buys. This doesn't give... Oh, this also gives an extra buy. Geesh, okay. There's a lot of ways to grab extra buys in this kingdom. Let's start by grabbing our first platinum. And let's grab a province. The reason that I think I want a province here is because we could upgrade that province into a platinum later. And I think that's certainly something that I could see doing. For right now, anytime that you can buy a platinum, I am going to do so. Yeah, here I might be mining away the potion. My opponent grabbing all of these golems, that's definitely going to be scary, and they're going to have some huge turns, so I guess that makes me like the aggro. I think I just have a much better turn here if I mine away the potion, grab a gold, and then buy the workers' village that I've been talking about wanting access to. So yeah, I think that that's just going to be good. We'll be able to grab another workers' village this turn too. Now mission, you get to take an extra turn, but during that turn you can't buy cards. So the only thing that you really get to do during that turn is farmer's market and upgrade and find other ways to gain victory points. Let's grab another silver and then grab a workers' village. This turn we've got access to at least 6. So I might consider grabbing a bridge troll here. I might consider using 2 buys on like workers' village dungeon or dungeon or potion dungeon. My opponent grabbing a mint now, and that was pretty good for them because they trashed 4 cards off of that. Oh great, we got a mine. So now we can trash this copper, grab a silver, and now we've got access to 7 with 2 buys. So there's definitely a few things that we can do with that. With the extra buys, I do think we are going to want a bridge troll at some point. The real question is if we should try to get this potion dungeon thing going on, or golem dungeon thing, I mean. And I think I will. We took a different route there than my opponent did, but I think that this is still good. The question with a hand like this is, do we want to purchase another platinum? That'll give us our 3rd platinum. Or do we want to just buy a colony? And buying a colony is obviously extremely, extremely tempting. With access to the dungeon in the deck, we can start to loot through some of that stuff, but we do also have a mint, which obviously rewards us for having a bunch of platinums. That said, we do have multiple buys on the board with bridge trolls and things like that, but I think I'm just going to take a colony. It's a little bit early to be greening and does make me a little bit fearful, but I think we will be able to make it work. Obviously love having Workers Village on my potion draw turn. My opponent grabs another platinum. They are just playing a bunch of cards here. I think they're out of actions. Yeah. So they bought a colony as well. We're still a little bit ahead of them, but obviously they are doing some great stuff. So here I think we just buy Golem and Workers Village. I think that'll be totally fine for us. That still gives us more buys. And now we will be looking to pick up the Bridge Troll pretty soon, and I think we'll have access to it this turn. So we'll see what we can draw off the dungeon. Try to turn like a silver into a gold or a gold into a platinum. If we draw the mint, we can use it pretty well this turn. Opponent grabbing another platinum from their mint. And then they bought a Workers Village and a Farmer's Market. They're also gaining victory points off the Farmer's Market because of their Golem. So that's a little bit scary. So let's dungeon. And let's just discard some victory points. Mine, trash a copper, grab a silver. Now we have access to 7 with 2 buys. I do think that we want a Bridge Troll sooner rather than later. Farmer's Market is also pretty good. Like, part of me wants to use all of the coin that I have. But if I buy a Bridge Troll, I won't be able to. But that'll just make my turn stronger in the future. So maybe I should just be willing to go ahead and do that. I think I will be playing a Golem next turn, which is pretty big. Maybe because of that, I want some things in the deck that give me additional actions, like Workers Village and Dungeon. Okay, I didn't draw the Golem either, so we're drawing the Golem on the next player level. And this hand is not super great either. I guess we will grab a Farmer's Market with this one and a silver. Maybe I'll just grab 2 silvers. Actually, yeah, I think I will do that. I'm going to grab 2 silvers on this one. My opponent can grab a platinum, or they can get like 2 Bridge Trolls. I think that would be super good for them here. So we'll see what they decide on. But I think 2 Bridge Trolls. Okay, they're going to go Bridge Troll, and then they're going to summon a Workers Village. Oh, that's right. I drew 2 cards off the dungeon. Well, holy moly, that was great. Now I get to mint my platinum. And unfortunately, we only have 10 here. And it's 10 with 1 buy. So I'm just going to go ahead and buy another platinum. Beating my opponent slightly in victory points, though I do think that they have a better shot at creating more victory points than us over the course of this one. So yeah, that dungeon coming in on the second turn is super clutch, especially as we start to add green to our deck. These colonies and provinces are definitely going to be better when we can get rid of them, you know? Until you reveal 2 actions other than golems. Okay, so huge turn for my opponent, able to buy a colony and a golem. Definitely feels like it's starting to slip away from me a little bit. And what token do we have from the Bridge Troll? Our -1 gold. So we're going to have 1 less gold this turn than we originally calculate. So we do have to keep that in mind. We are going to still be able to purchase a colony, luckily. Okay. So yeah, we play this, and that's still 11. 11 with 2 buys. Let's just buy a colony. Yeah, we had like a pretty aggressive colony strat here. I think we'll be able to buy colony golem on our turn. But definitely getting a little bit fearful that my opponent is just doing such powerful stuff here on their turns. So what do we want to do? We can discard 2 cards here. I'm actually thinking I'm just going to discard Colony and Potion, play Workers' Village. Let's play Golem first. Grab 2 more Workers' Village. Grab some more stuff. Let's go with Dungeon next. And probably just do this. We've got 4 buys. Yeah, I mean, I think mining the gold into a platinum is like generally going to be our best bet. So let's just go ahead and do that. There's only 1 platinum left in this kingdom, so that's kind of interesting. Like, we did do kind of like a run on the platinum, and that winds up being pretty powerful. Now, we didn't leave ourselves with any potion, so we won't be able to grab a golem here, but I think I just want Colony Bridge Stroll, actually. So I'm totally fine with how all of that shook out. And I do have 1 dungeon at the ready, so we will be able to use that. We'll probably just wind up discarding a lot of what we draw, potentially. And my opponent golems into a mint, and yeah, my opponent is golem overloaded. They're definitely going to be able to hit a golem each turn, though, which is pretty strong. And maybe that just makes it worth it because 1 golem is so powerful. So maybe I should have just prioritized golem a little bit heavier. But we prioritized platinum pretty heavy, and now we're beating my opponent by over 10 victory points. They will potentially be able to cash in the farmer's market soon. How many does that have on it? So farmer's market currently has 3 on it. So we might want to buy a farmer's market here just to race them to farmer's market. Though if we just have like an absolutely huge turn, we could buy the penultimate province, and that's going to make it difficult for my opponent to catch up. They are going to buy 2 estates. So that way, they bought 3 estates. So now if I just buy the, penultimate province there, we're potentially set up to lose, but honestly, we're looking pretty good here still regardless. So we'll see what we get. We're just getting a bunch of buys, but maybe this dungeon can hit for us. It really cannot. Okay, that's a little bit awkward. So what do we have here? We've got access to... We've got to take away the copper, so then we have access to 14 if we discard the potion and the estate. So 14 is really colony plus estate. And feodom is per 3 silvers you have. So that's probably only worth 1 or 2. What did I say? I had 14? Yeah, I'm going to wind up with 14. Okay, we will have a dungeon next turn, so maybe that'll help us a little bit. But let's just play this stuff out here, and let's just go ahead, buy a colony and an estate. My opponent needs to buy colony plus estate on their turn, which is definitely possible, especially with these dungeons and bridge trolls. Yeah, maybe I should have looked at that stuff too. Now my opponent golems, and they will probably be able to find something good. Yeah, just a bunch of workers' village. Oh, farmer's market is not going to be enough here, but it is going to give them 4 cash. So farmer's market is still really good. It's not going to cash in for victory points, but it is still going to give them 4 gold. So yeah, their golems like don't even have anything in the deck. They're just goleming and cycling through their whole deck. Yeah, they don't have any action. So that was like the one thing that my opponent did wrong, was picked up way too many golems, because their golems aren't actually doing anything. They're just playing golems and doing nothing. So yeah, I don't think they have it this turn. I don't think they're going to be able to end because they just have too many golems. So they just summoned a farmer's market. That's going to give them 4 victory points, but I think... no, we're not quite going to be okay because that's the end of our turn here. So now we can bridge troll, but we can't even grab the province, unfortunately. Right? Because, oh wait, maybe we can? No, we cannot. Yeah, because this makes everything one cheaper, but because of their bridge troll, we are unable to make use of that. So I think what we have to do here is just buy Duchy Estate and stay ahead on victory points as much as we can. But now with my opponent, yeah, they're going to be able to have the farmer's village, and then they're going to bridge troll us. Alright, so cards cost one less. I guess I can mine away this platinum so that way my opponent can't grab it. But this definitely does not feel great. Does it grab exactly 2? No, up to 3 more. Alright, so let's trash this platinum, grab another platinum, why not? And yeah, then I guess we just buy a duchy. And then we're 17 up on my opponent, so that's going to make it tough for them to end. And I think that's as best as we can do. There's no real routes that we have to end the game other than the colony. But if we potentially get into like a duchy off with our opponent, we did do one thing. We did bridge troll them, so that gives them -1 gold for the turn. My opponent is going to have a huge turn here, though, with farmers markets and such. But we're up by 13. We're up by 13. So hopefully that's enough. My opponent's golems are going to start to miss soon because they really don't have too much else in their deck other than golems. So when they have these golem-heavy draws, they really don't do too much. So my opponent buys a province. So now we are only up by 7. But we can buy a province right back. So let's trash this silver, grab a gold, and then we can buy a province back, and now we are up again by 13. Okay. And now the dungeons start. My opponent's got some good dungeons to filter through their deck. But like I said, I don't think that their deck is that powerful, despite having 4 golems in it. And if we ever hit our golem, I think that our golems are just so much more powerful than our opponents, and I think we will be able to draw out of it. Otherwise, I mean, we'll consider trying to end the game through provinces or through duchies and estates, any combination that we can make happen. We don't have any way to capitalize on mission, but our opponent does, so my opponent could do something like... okay, they're going to grab a province and a duchy, so now we're only up by 4. Okay, yeah, it's getting close. It's getting close. So we discard this. If we play bridge troll, I think we will be able to get a duchy and an estate here. So that is definitely what we are going to want to go for. The only other thing we could do is we could summon... and we could summon a bridge troll. We could summon an upgrade. Summoning an upgrade is pretty slick. But right now we're only winning by 4. So if my opponent buys a colony, that's GG. We can't really prevent that. But I think we'd still like to play it close. Well, I guess... So what if they get like... Well, if they buy province duchy, then they could just buy a colony. What if they just buy a province? Then that puts them up on us by 2. Yeah, either way, if we can get this last colony, we can end out the game. We're probably going to draw a golem next turn. Alright, let's just go ahead and buy duchy estate. I don't think the rest of the game matters too much here. Well, and then of course I get a little bit punished. My opponent just buys a duchy, but we can buy a province on this turn. Oh, we've got our dungeon. That's why I thought I was drawing into it. perfect. We can Workers Village, and then we got a whole bunch of stuff to play, and we can actually buy Colony plus Duchy plus Estate or something like that, and that is GG. So we got the win. That was a crazy one. My opponent going a little too heavy on the golems there. But ultimately, yeah, few too many golems, and we were able to get the win. So my opponent's going to be on the play for this one, and hopefully we will continue to be as lucky. Inventor, we played a game with that yesterday against Kartik. So let's take a second and read the event first. Move your +1 action to an action supply pile. So you can make it so that one of these actions keeps to generate actions. Well, doing that on Silk Merchant seems really, really, really strong. Cobbler seems good. Inventor seems good as an early game card as well. Hideout, trash a card from your hand if it's a victory, gain a curse. Okay, that's not super great. My opponent has a 2-5 split, so I don't love that. They're going to be able to grab probably just a Cobbler. We do have access to Bard as well, receive a boon. Really what I want to do, though, is I want to Inventor, and then I want to put Lost Arts on Silk Merchant, I believe. Do we have any other way to gain actions? Real cards from your deck until reveal an action or treasure. Yeah, so Farming Village to generate some actions and then get some more Inventors. But I think regardless, this is going to start with Inventor here, and we'll see what we can make happen. Sheepdog is +2 cards. When you gain a card, you may play this from your hand. Oh, so that's really interesting. Sheepdog plus Inventor is kind of a combo. All right, I think Sheepdog's really good on this board with both Cobbler and Inventor on the board. So here I think we'll like Inventor for Silk Merchant and then buy another Inventor, or maybe just like Inventor for 2 more Inventors. We do need to start grabbing some Silk Merchants, though, actually, because we want the coffers, and we can actually make use of the villages as well, but I want to grab the Lost Arts as soon as I can, and I think that might even be right now. If I use this turn to grab Lost Arts and make it so that Inventor gives me additional actions, then I can go all in on Inventors and Sheepdogs. Maybe we just want the Sheepdog to... Oh, my opponent... Yeah, they're making a run on the Sheepdogs right now. It's a question of, like, which are we going to get more of? Which one do we want to be able to keep playing? None of these gain to your hand or anything like that. I think it does make the most sense to put the Lost Arts on the Sheepdog, despite only having 1 and having 2 Silk Merchants. I think we can go big with Inventor. But I think Sheepdog is what we need to have the additional action on. Now, let's go Inventor. Yeah, this is going to be fine. So here we're going to Inventor, and we're just going to start Inventoring for Sheepdog. Or Inventoring for Inventor, rather. So we go Inventor for Inventor. That allows us to play our Sheepdog, and then we can buy another Inventor, or we can buy another Sheepdog. And we kind of want a mix of them, but I think I want to buy the Sheepdogs when I've got multiple buys, and I think I just want to spend my gold as efficiently as possible. So this turn I might use a Villager to grab 2 Sheepdogs. My opponent using their Villager here, and let's see what they are grabbing. They're grabbing their first Inventor. So do I want to use this villager? I actually think I do not. Let's just autoplay this and let's just grab a sheepdog here. I think that that is totally fine. So let's use Inventor to grab an Inventor wherever possible. Then we Sheepdog with an action floating. We Silk Merchant. And then, yeah, we're out of actions at this point. That's the reason to have Lost Arts on something else. But now I can Inventor for Vault. So let's read what Vault does and what Tactician does, because I did not even read these cards yet. Oh, wow, this is a Platinum and Colony game again. Did not even realize that yet. Discard any number of cards for +1 gold each. That's not really that good. Neither is that. I think I'm going to grab a Cobbler. And then let's run this out. And with 2 buys, I'm thinking like gold sheepdog. I think we are going to want some gold at some point, considering this is a colony kingdom. But we're definitely going to want to make a run on the sheepdogs. Once we make a run on the sheepdog, like if we have more sheepdogs than inventors at a point, then I will probably want to change over to having sheepdog have the Lost Arts. And that's worth paying the 6 gold again. Okay. And for Tactician, do you have to have... Oh, you have to have at least 1 card in hand. Okay, that's pretty cool. So let's Inventor for Inventor. Sheepdogging. And then Silk Merchant. And then we can autoplay our treasures here. And we only have 2... We only have 3 gold. I think let's grab another sheepdog here. I think those are just going to be good in this kingdom. This game is going to end pretty quick because we're almost completely out of inventors and sheepdogs. And I'm probably going to, with my inventors, start grabbing some silk merchants and things. Yeah, the inventors are already gone now. So if we can grab some green rather quickly, we might want to go ahead and do that. And I'm not sure if I really have the time to change my Lost Arts, unfortunately. My opponent with a huge turn here because of Tactician. So they're going to be able to do some really big stuff right now. They're inventing for some silk merchants. They buy the Lost Arts and play a Cobbler. Okay. That's not... I can deal with that for sure. So let's grab... Oh, and they put their Lost Arts on Silk Merchant. Yeah, that's also going to be pretty good for my opponent here, I think. Let's go ahead and grab a Silk Merchant, activate our Sheepdog, and now we can just Inventor for... I almost feel like we can just, like, Inventor for 5. So I could buy a province this turn as well, or just buy a bank. Bank might be fine. I could also use my coffer and move the Lost Arts over to Silk Merchant or Sheepdog. Which I really don't hate either. But I have 2 villagers, so I don't think I need to be too concerned here. Part of me really does think I should grab a province. I think I'm going to grab a province. I might even grab province duchy. All right. Let's grab a duchy, play all my treasures, and grab a province, eh? Yeah, let's do that. Because this game is just going to end so quickly now. I can inventor, grab the silk merchants, and blow through those really quickly. My opponent is obviously inclined to grab some silk merchants as well. And the fact that we are now up by 9 in a game that can end just like that, I think is going to be really crucial here. So let's see what my opponent is able to buy. They aren't able to... Oh, they can. They can colony here. Wow. Okay, well, they're going to go for a colony, to be sure. I have to believe here. Yeah. So they cash in and grab a colony. We get to gain anything to our hand right now. So I'm considering Sheepdog because we'll get to play it for free. So that basically gives us the action. But Silk Merchant basically gives us well, it doesn't basically. It does give us an extra coin. So maybe we just want to grab Silk Merchant here because it gives us that extra coffers. And I think we need to buy a colony this turn. Yeah, that 1 gold could really matter. So let's grab a Silk Merchant to our hand. Let's inventor for Silk Merchant. And then let's go ahead and play one of our Silk Merchants trying to find some sheepdogs. Perfect. Then let's inventor for another Silk Merchant. Then we're going to play both of our sheepdogs, draw a whole bunch more cards. Silk Merchant. Let's go ahead and... So all we need to be able to do is buy a province and then 3 sheepdogs. That's actually possible. We might already be there. All right, let's Silk Merchant again. So if we inventor right now, we can grab a sheepdog. I think we have it. I think we have the win, actually. I think we inventor for... If we grab the duchy, then we only need to grab the duchy. Yeah, so this is perfect. We sheepdog. We auto-play our treasures here. Let's full send the coffers. Let's buy all 3 sheepdogs. And then we've got 9. So we can actually buy a colony and an estate as well. So there we go. We found it. That was quite the game. But sheepdogs and inventors. Yeah, that was sweet. And we are now 2-0 in this back half, which makes us 4-1. Yeah, that was a pretty nice win. All of those free sheepdogs at the end there definitely felt clutch. So feeling good about that. I'm also just noticing right now my camera is not... Oh, it is. There's just a black bar on the side of the stream. Okay, so this has Cultist and Ruined Market. It also has Ratcatcher, which is just a great early game card, and also has Flag Bearer. Oh, this is a really interesting kingdom. Okay. Now, there's also an extreme desire to grab Fisherman. I wish I had... I mean, a 2-5 is insane on this board, but you rather have a 3-4 than a 4-3, because then you can pick up Fisherman followed by Flag Bearer. All right, let's take a second to... Okay, I'm just going to read some of these cards because I know a lot of these cards very familiar, very intimately, but I don't know either of these 2 potion cards. So worth 1 per 3 action cards you have rounded down. Okay, an Apothecary replaces itself, reveal the top 4 cards, put the copper and potions into your hand, the rest back in any order. Wow, okay. Then there's also Ratcatcher and Sentry to start trashing. Fisherman is great. I think I'm going to buy Fisherman, and then I'm going to buy Ratcatcher. Gatekeeper is actually not that great in this kingdom. Nor do I really believe is Cultist, because there's no way to gain additional actions, and it's going to be so easy to trash in this kingdom. So I think my gut read here, I do really like the Flag Bearer. Oh, you know what? If I grab the Flag Bearer, I can grab Fisherman next turn. Okay. I'm going to start with Flag Bearer because that is going to, right, it's going to shuffle everything into my deck because I drew one extra card this turn. So let's see if my opponent then takes the flag back from us. And I'm inclined to take the flag from them yet again. We're going to get into like a huge flogging game here. My hand's going to have 5 in it again. Yeah, let's see if they break before we do. But for now, I think... I mean, I also like this other shit. You know what? Let's grab Sentry. Let's grab Sentry for now. I'll grab Flag Bearer on this turn. We're going to give my opponent 1 reprieve with the flag, which is going to allow them to grab a Witch or a Sentry or anything else that they want. But then we're going to take the flag right back. And now we've got Sentry in our deck, and our opponent's not. So that could definitely be good for us. Now we're looking for extra buys. Is there any way to generate additional buys in this kingdom? I don't believe so, other than Ruined Market, which, because it's a terminal action, I don't think we're going to go with. I'm again tempted to get the Fisherman, but I think Sentry is just such a big game that I want to pop off with the Sentry right now. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty decently about this. So we will, want to look into Ratcatcher and the like. I don't know if we really want Vineyard. So this is for every 3 actions that you have. So once you get to a point where you have... I mean, it's cool because you draw your potion, you can get victory points. That is cool. And in a Sentry game... Basically, I have 4 gold, so I'm thinking about buying a potion. Apothecary also seems good in the early game here, too. That we could buy that and it won't really muck up our draws or anything like that. What we really need is buys, but I don't think there's any sense in grabbing the Rune Market in all actual purposes here. So my opponent grabs the flag yet again. We'll be able to trash our estates, so that is sweet. And now I could do something like outposting or grabbing a Gatekeeper. I don't think Gatekeeper is great in this kingdom, and I don't think that the outpost is necessary, because there's no way to get like huge hands because you run out of actions the second you play a Witch. I am tempted to just take the flag right back again, and we are going to be able to trash these Flag Bearers too with our sentries. We've got more sentries than our opponent. So I think I just want to maintain control of the flag. We do want a Ratcatcher at some point, but we keep having these huge hands, which really don't reward me for having for getting. I forget what I was saying. All right, so we already have the flag, so let's just keep that. But let's discard it. And I'm either going to take another sentry here, or I'm going to grab a gold. And I think one more sentry in this kingdom is going to be strong. Because there is just... And yeah, maybe we do want a Ratcatcher at some point. We just don't have the buys. But we're going to want to get rid of these curses that our opponent is continually giving us here. So let's get rid of this copper. Let's keep the sentry on top. We'll be able to trash a curse with that. Honestly, not really loving this potion anymore. But maybe we'll start grabbing Vineyards at some point. We shall see. We currently have 2 curses. And my opponent has the flag, so we will trash a flag bearer if we find one. Let's trash that. Keep that on top. And now we've got access to 5. And with 5, I think we do start buying... It feels awkward to buy a fisherman here. Maybe I could buy a witch because my opponent has so many less... has so many less sentries. They do have the rat catcher. Gatekeeper, does that also give you... Yeah, it also gives you 3 gold. So it's also kind of like a gold. Or it gives you 3 coin is what I meant to say. Don't love Cultist as a terminal action. The curses are good just because my opponent doesn't have as much trashing as I do. We throw the witch in here. Honestly, I'm just feeling fisherman right now. I think let's not, even though we're paying 5 for it, I think just having some fishermen in the deck, this turn we can buy a gold, but it'll let us get golds more frequently. Like if we had a fisherman on that turn, we would have been able to grab a gold. My opponent's probably going to be able to grab a gold here themselves. Yeah, because they have access to a fisherman, so... That seems good enough for me. Yeah, let's try to get a little more gold in our deck. We still have the flag, so let's confirm trashing, but let's discard flag bearers always. Oh! You know what? I didn't realize I had another sentry. Let's see if my opponent will let us undo this. I think that we should just draw the flag bearer and buy a province. So let's actually... No, not trash anything. Let's... No trash. Let's discard the fisherman. And then let's sentry to draw the flag bearer. Trash the copper. Discard flag bearer still. And then... buy a province. Okay, I think that that's a little bit better for us. We're still drawing extra cards each turn, so that is sweet. This song is getting a little annoying. Alright, what did my opponent do on that turn? They grabbed a province themselves, so yeah, it's Pravi time. I do wish we could play some more fishermen, but I think that that's fine. So let's sentry. I think I'm going to get rid of my potion. It hasn't been doing enough for me. How many actions do we even have in the deck? Yeah, right now it's like worse than a duchy because we are just provincing every turn. We're either probably going to province or gold on most of our turns right now. So, yeah, this turn is... a gold as well. So no trashing. Let's discard the province. And then let's fisherman into the flag bearer and buy another province. We do have to make sure we don't trash too much copper because we have exactly 9 coin in our deck. But yeah, Sentry is just such a powerful card. I just saw a post on Reddit about it the other day, but they were saying, like, is Sentry OP? Because it's basically a 1-card engine. The answer to that is like, well, yeah, I mean, kind of. The card is very good. So we still have the flag. Let's go ahead and we can trash 1 copper. So let's do so. And then let's discard the flag bearer. We currently have access to 6. If we draw our gold, which fisherman into copper is our gold. So that's just as good. So let's confirm trashing, confirm discarding, done ordering sentry, and confirm trashing, confirm discarding. Oh, I should have drawn the province. Well, now I'm going to draw I don't know what I drew off the fisherman. Draw a copper. Oh, so I... Oh, that's right. Yeah, I knew I was drawing the copper. That's right. Yeah. That's right. I put the copper back on top. Okay, so great. Our deck is getting very green, but it's fine to have these provinces in your opening hand. That's actually like how you win when you've got a Sentry deck. So this deck can definitely fall off a little bit because we only have exactly enough to get a province every turn. So it is definitely possible that the deck falls off. But with these sentries, it winds up being definitely possible. So Sentry into Curse. So let's trash those. You see just how powerful Sentry is. And if we miss here, which it does look like we will, but we'll have access to 4, and I think we will buy another Fisherman. So if we're going to buy another Fisherman, I think then we can trash this copper. We can keep the gold on top. Then we can Flag Bearer, and yeah, let's just buy another Fisherman. That seems great. We got rid of all of the curses that our opponent gave us as well. So this is looking pretty strong. It's also good to know that your discard pile is a curse when you have Sentry, because then you can just math it out. No, that actually won't be super possible because we're going to be dumping our provinces as well. But let's Fisherman and potentially draw into one of our provinces here. That's fine. Confirm trashing, but we do want to... Oh, my opponent took the flag. I did not see that they took the flag. So we do want to trash this and take the flag back. Say thank you to my opponent for letting us do that. I wasn't paying full attention there. I do think we need this copper, though. So let's do confirm trashing, and then let's just discard this. Let's play a Sentry, maybe hit the curse. We did indeed hit the curse. We'll confirm discarding this because we're just going to draw it with Fisherman. Then we play Flag Bearer, and then we buy another province. So we're doing really, really well here. We just have to use Sentry and keep tuning through our deck expertly. We do have a curse in the bin yet again to consider. But if we can buy this last province, then we win. So let's see if it happens. Sentry into province. We are not going to trash anything, but we are going to discard both of these. Then let's Sentry again, and we're not going to trash, but we are going to discard this. And so now we've found it, right? So now we just have to potentially trash the curse. Then we play Fisherman, and you see just how powerful Sentry is. We didn't miss. We mathed it out perfectly, and GG's to Kartik. So that makes us 5-1 against Kartik. So I am super happy about that. 3-0 today, and yeah, you can see how. Sure, yeah, thank you. So yeah, these were some great games, and Kartik was definitely an enjoyable player to play against as well. This was the deck. All right, they're gone. But yeah, that was a really quick stream and a good end to this set. So now we've got a 1-5, and we've got a 5-1, and we've got a 3-3. So we are exactly 9-9 right now after 3 sets, and a 50% win rate means that as far as this league is concerned, this round, I will throw this up on the stream here after I locate the page. But this actually means that we are second in the league because the guy on the top of the leaderboard... Oh, I'm in the wrong Discord chat. Whoopsie doopsie. Okay. So here are the current standings, and let's see if these have updated. Okay, so today's results have not populated yet, but we're going to be at a 50% win rate, like Super Nick. Though Super Nick has played all of their games, and Super Nick is locked for 15-15. So Cowering Cow, if I can put up a positive win rate against them, or even just like an even win rate against, I mean, I'd take tied for second with Super Nick. I would actually be third, I believe, because of tiebreakers. I lost to Super Nick 1-5. But yeah, if we can just, all we have to do in our remaining games basically is go 7-5, which seems very, very doable. We just have to pick up one additional win against either HGI Fix or Cowering Cow. And if we can do that, we'll be second place in the league. That said, if we can do even better than that, you're right on the money there, Kalari. If we can just win every game, then we can still win this league. It's definitely possible because basically we just need to have HGI Fix have more losses than us, which means we've got to deliver some losses to him. So yeah, so if I get a 2-4 against Cowering Cow, I can still win by getting a 6-0 against HGI Fix. So that's really all I was trying to say, is just like the way that it winds up working in round robin style play. Your games against the best players do wind up mattering that much more, because not only are you improving your own score, but you're also negatively impacting your competitors' scores. It's probably better, like, optimistically to look at like glass half full, think like, I should be playing to win, not playing so that my opponents lose. But yeah, if I just win my games, that's all that matters. That's definitely right. Speaking of winning my games, I'm not sure what I'll do with the footage, but I did wind up winning that game of Battlegrounds that I started on stream yesterday. I played like 4 rounds of it while I was in the bathroom, and then I loaded up the computer and played like the last 5 rounds of it or so, and actually just wound up getting like a sick run to finish out the game. So that was pretty sweet. Yeah, that's really all I have for now. Probably gonna find it tough to try to stream in the next week, but maybe like next Friday is a possibility. I've got to talk to my opponents as well and see what they are doing, but my summer semester is ending this week, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of hanging out with my girlfriend and stuff for her birthday, and then the following week is when the league ends. So I am thinking that we will be able to possibly try to get the games scheduled in that, but they'll also be up on YouTube and stuff if you miss them and want to see them there. But if you are watching on YouTube, because I get a lot more for Dominion especially, partially because I don't really like advertise my streams too much on the Dominion server, but if you ever want to watch my games live, the best way to do so is to follow me on Twitch and hit that bell to be notified when I go live. I think Twitch has a bell. I'm not sure where it is because I'm looking at my Twitch page right now and I can't subscribe to myself. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to follow me on Twitch. A link to that is in the video description, just twitch.tv/NoLucksGiven. And for those of you guys watching me here live, thank you very much as well. And if you want to catch anything, yeah, it's right next to the follow button. I figured. That is it. I think you might be the only person that I have the bell on for, Kaleri. And maybe some of my other friends that don't really, like some IRL friends that might not even stream and stuff anymore. But that is going to be it for us today. Thank you very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.